Okay, so some of you already know what I'm about to say. You don't need me to tell you. You already know, right? You took in the information, you know it. Some of you may be open to the information that I have to share, not just in this video, but just in my channel in general. You just need somebody to tell you, whisper it in your ear, shout it from the rooftops, tell you in a YouTube video, right? Then you'll get the message. Then it'll like things will click into place and make sense. Some of you won't get it at all. It doesn't matter how many times I repeat it or anyone else repeats it, you won't get it. You won't see it the way I see it. And I think that's fine. The quality of your life will reflect your inner reality. And honestly, I am fine with that. That's your life to live. You can live it however you want to live. I think it's important for you to know a little bit about who I am and why I feel qualified to give some of this information. Listen, I am a licensed psychologist, like in real life, in real life, right? I pay dues. I pay for insurance, malpractice insurance. I experienced lots and lots of training, excellent, high quality training from people I respect and learned so much from, right? I've been licensed independently for like 5 years now. I am very good at what I do, very good. My clients, if you could talk to them, you won't, but if you could, you would hear stories about results. 99%, right? There's always one that's mad about something, but 99% of my clients, excellent results. Terminated because we reached all the goals. They have seen their life transform, right? There's that. On my channel, I also tell stories about my history of trauma in childhood, my history of being in an abusive relationship, and currently being in the best relationship of my entire life with my dream man that I cannot wait to live the rest of my life with, experience new things with, and right, get married, do all the things. That's my lived reality. I think it's important to look at the kind of people you are listening to see if they have what you want. You might not want to be in a relationship. You can find other things on my channel that might inspire you. I like to travel solo. I like to cook. I like to go to fancy restaurants and eat really good food. I like music. I love my son. Like I love being a mother. You might find other things that you resonate with here on my channel. But if you don't want my life, I don't think it's that helpful for you to try to learn things from me. You can be inspired by me. You can enjoy, listening to me. But I think it's super important to go to someone who has the things you want. I trained under licensed psychologists because I want to be a licensed psychologist. I listened to women who were married and happy because I want to be married and happy. Why are you listening to somebody who has been unable to maintain a healthy relationship in their life? Huh? Why are you listening to that person? Why? So I don't know who this lady knows or why it's so important for her to get on all these podcasts to say absolute garbage, nonsense. The problem with her is the same problem I have with Dr. Umar. They are grounded in fallacies and they mix truth with lies. They're full of nonsense. You are going to be confused if you really pay attention to everything they're saying. Sure, you can stay for just the nuggets, but I really want to challenge you. Why do you want to sit at a table with some good food and some garbage? Why? You can't smell that? You can't smell the garbage? While you're trying to eat on this succulent? No. You have to stay away from all of it. You need somebody who's grounded in truth and light if you want to learn something from them. Otherwise, you're just the conflict, the inner conflict in your mind, the contradictions are going to get you every time because you are not really going to know what to believe and what not to believe. That's why I stay away from all of it. I really have blocked Dr. Cheyenne from my feed. There's nothing this woman can tell me that's going to be insightful. She doesn't do any of her information based on research, right? She twists words, she twists statistics to fit whatever message she's trying to send. Watch this video. I'll be right back.
And I hate to be the ones telling y'all this, but I think Dr. Cheyenne Bryant is a grifter. And now, like all grifters, they talk so eloquently, so poetic. They have a way with words. Their cadence is very appealing. And they know how to make things sound really, really fucking good. But y'all cannot tell me that after watching her take her food blind down to the Jamal Bryant podcast, no, y'all was not side eyeing a lot of that shit you were saying. You have to use your common sense, okay? Use your discernment. She was sitting there telling us how a man was about to pray her panties off. Who gets hot with prayer? She had to call up her deacon to cool her down. She also uses scripture and quotes the Bible in a manipulative way because she let us know that in order to move further with her, because she a bad bitch, she don't play. Okay, in order to move further with me in a relationship, once I feel like I'm ready to invest my emotions into a relationship, I require passwords as a reassurance, which in itself, to me, that sounds very weird, that in order for me to be reassured here, I need a password. It's almost like waiting for the other shoe to drop, but whatever. So she requires the passwords, to which the pastor was kind of like, And then she said, I never had a problem with anybody giving me no motherfucking passwords because I'm Cheyenne Bryant, bitch.
You don't need to listen to anyone who's a grifter. That's not information for you. Similarly, listen to this, because I refuse to input all of this negativity into my life. I'm not watching any hour-long interview with Dr. Cheyenne. I'm not listening to her. And the only reason I'm doing this video, because I was talking to my boyfriend about this, the only reason I'm doing this video is because God has asked me to share the message of positivity and light. Y'all like to say, God told me, and then you go and do something harmful to people. My message here is, I want you to find people to listen to who are living honest, truthful lives. Eventually, you can tell who is living in truth versus who is making stuff up and living in a fantasy world. Listen to this person talk about Dr. Cheyenne's fantasy world.
Dr. Bryant is in a situationship. I don't know if y'all saw she was on Paul Pierce's podcast. And so he was like, what you got going on? You dating, you single? First she said, I have companions. Then she said, well, I'm not dating anybody exclusively. There's this one guy that we've been dating on and off for 5 years. How do you date someone for 5 years? You in a relationship or you not? But you cannot date someone for 5 years. Like, that is a situationship. I know she didn't want to say it out loud because she has a big following and she's always telling women what they need to do with men and blah, blah, blah. Girl.
And why is any of this important, right? Because sure, maybe she's in a situationship. Maybe she's not blaming single moms for the emotional well-being of their children, like she did in Nini's interview, which I think people really enjoyed Nini's vulnerability in that interview. Dr. Cheyenne can hold space for people, but she's not an authentic person. So anything she says out of her mouth, dangerous, not in the best interest of women. I do think she's one of those women who is like an agent of chaos, a minion of the patriarchy to maintain certain standards. I don't know if she really wants to be in a relationship. I don't know. I don't know if she's the one that's stopping the relationship from gossiping with the person she's in a situationship, or if he is the one that's stopping it. Younger men, I honestly don't really take seriously when it comes to older women, unless they are like really locked in and are grounded in a commonality. Like their values are so similar that the age doesn't really make a difference. Dr. Cheyenne, I imagine that she's with a person who's similar to her. Values are sketchy. Their communication is sketchy. They say in a situationship, one person lacks integrity and one person lacks self-worth. Honestly, it feels like Dr. Cheyenne lacks both. So I don't know. The man she's with probably lacks the both of them too. That woman is not okay. The information she's sharing is also harmful to people. We do not need more messaging about how women are the ones to blame in this patriarchy. Yes, women do have a lot of unlearning to do. And I'm speaking more to that on my channel. Women need to unlearn this idea that you need to seek validation from a man, or that you have to uphold this, men should be this and men should be that and women should be this in relationships. They're outdated. They're not helpful. They're not, I'm telling you, they're not helpful. What we need is more balance in relationships and people understanding what their strengths are. My strength is cooking. I'm going to cook for my man. If I wasn't good at cooking, I'm not cooking for my man. If I wanted to learn cooking for myself, sure, I could cook for my man. But we are not here as people that are supposed to labor for men. Your role here on earth is not to labor for men. And men and women both have this idea. Men think women are supposed to labor for men. Women think I'm supposed to labor for a man. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're supposed to live a life here, figure out what your purpose is, live a life of truth, have fun, enjoy things, evolve your soul. That's the whole purpose of being here. Dr. Cheyenne sounds like she's 25 when she talks about relationships. She does not sound like a 42-year-old woman talking about what we need next in life. And this is not a slight to women without children, right? Because it's having children is not the only way people mature, right? But it is a pretty fundamental part of being human and continuing the human race that you have a child. You can either rise to the challenge of raising a child or falter and fall and absolutely fail at raising a child. The way you fail is if you raise a human being who cannot function. They cannot function in society. They can't process their emotions, regulate themselves. That's one way that you fail. If they have to go and learn, reparent themselves, you've done something really harmful to them. One of the things I've learned in being a parent is about that groundedness, that maturity, like centering myself, learning patience. I am a different person because I had a child. There are ways to get that without having a child. But in all of the ways, almost all of the ways, Dr. Cheyenne is so stunted in her understanding about the world and about men and women and what's happening. Her information is not helpful. I think she just wants to be famous or to get enough exposure that a man will pick her. If she doesn't do the inner soul work, none of her relationships will last. It fully explains why she's in a situationship. She's not ready for the commitment. She's afraid of being left. She's afraid of having a baby and the man not being there, which is a real fear. It's one that most women will have to contend with, but that's not to me a reason to not have a child. Right? I've changed my tune on that. Do not wait for a man to be ready for you to have a child. You have a child if you want to have a child. You figure it out. You find the problem solving. There are different ways to do it. I'm not going to tell you to stop listening to her. I'm giving you the message that she's dangerous, that the information she has to share is not helping you, that she's right up there with the rest of it's been a while since my birds have been back. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, I could cry. It's been such a while since my birds have been back. Oh my God. Something is wrong with that woman. It's not my job to figure it out. I'm not here to try to figure it out. I'm here to tell you, I want you to be very, very careful about the people that you listen to. What you focus on will increase. The information that you intake will become part of your belief system, the way you view the world. And that woman is so harmful. Sound off in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you agree, give this video a like. Share it with somebody who needs to stop listening to that woman because something is wrong with her. Something is wrong with her. Okay? Subscribe to my channel for more videos on being a good person, centering yourself in light. And thank you for watching.